Back to the Insiders with Liz and Amber. We hope you had
Yes.
a really good New Year and holiday, and that it was everything that you needed this holiday season. And so we're here today to do a little bit of a show on our insiders to see
exactly
what's going on and answer some viewers' questions. So thank you again for tuning in.
Thanks, guys. And as most of you know who are tuned in right now, probably some of you have posted some questions for us to sort of launch the conversation. So shall we start with those?
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect. Might as well, right, guys?
No time like the present.
No time like the present. Okay, so Ray Hino is saying, is anyone else feeling totally blocked in their heart chakra the last couple of weeks?
Yes.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%. It has been really heavy energy. Just the world events that are going on, the strife in the world, Australia, we've seen it all. It's just been quite devastating to be a human in this world right now. So with the pending silliness that the States is pulling, all of that. So yeah, not surprising. You're likely tuned into this page because you're intuitive.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have the hallway light on, and just when you said that comment, I thought, oh my gosh, and then the light went brighter, and then one went off and the other one came back on.
Well, that's not surprising.
This is Liz and Amber creating more more energy, and the universe coming in and saying, hey, we're here, here's some validation.
Exactly. And you know what's so funny, right? Like I can't even go to like public washrooms without toilets being flushed around me. I'm not even joking you. I can't use my debit card without it not working. I am like shutting down all kinds of things when I'm out in public right now. You too?
Yeah, well, funny story, just quickly. So we were Christmas shopping together, my husband and I, which we don't do very often anymore because it is a little bit too much for both of us with high energy to go out into public.
Yeah, especially this time of year, right?
Yeah, but do you know those self-checkouts? That's got its own controversial topic to it, but we were in the self-checkout because we were called over to it, so we needed to use it.
Absolutely.
So the woman kept saying to my husband, go ahead and start and I will load your wife's gift card here, because she had to help me. And he said, no, I'm just going to wait for her because I can't touch it. And she says, what do you mean you can't touch it? He says, well, every time I come near technology or anything with electricity or batteries, he says, I'll break it. And he said, see those 150 people waiting in line? They're going to be mad if I break your machine.
Yeah.
Well, sure enough, she's trying to load the gift card. It won't work. It won't work. She had to like shut down her machine and redo it. So I said, Matt, just go stand over there. So he did. He walked over there and bam, everything worked out fine. She said, well, she couldn't believe it. She called over 3 people to say this man shouldn't be allowed near the technology.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. But so the heaviness that you're feeling in your heart chakra, 100%.
Yes, for sure.
And you're probably not sleeping well either. Everybody that I've been talking to client-wise has been dealing with sleep apnea, sleep issues, not being able to get a good night's sleep. Or in most cases, they're feeling like they're getting enough sleep, but they're just not sleeping, which is weird.
Yeah, so that's what I've been experiencing. So I'm getting enough hours sleep, but I know I'm actively receiving spiritual messages while I'm sleeping. So I am actually having this internal dialogue with spiritual connections, whether it be guides or angels or people's loved ones or my own. So I'm constantly, actually, the joke was like everybody had a conversation with me while they were watching football the other night because I fell asleep on the couch and I was just like screaming out these crazy things. And so, so that's exactly how I'm feeling.
I actually got a really cool text yesterday from a gal in the community and the spiritual community who said she had a dream with me and it was really epic, and she shared the whole dream with me, and it was like, okay, I'm sorry I didn't join you. I clearly, but how cool, right?
Yeah.
So we're all really connected right now. Like I think you're going to see that's the next phase in evolution for us humans, is that we are already so tuned into each other, right?
Yeah.
But it is getting more and more intense that you will not be able to ignore it, is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah. And I think the fact that your heart chakra has been heavy, or that it's been, sometimes we feel like there's like pressure so that it feels almost like you can't get relief from it.
Yeah.
And so when you're experiencing those things, you almost have to, you know, give yourself some credit for the fact that you are picking up the universal energies, right? So you're picking up maybe the people that you are highly connected to, or the 100%. Other fellow humans, and the plants and the earth and all of those things. And so when you do that, though, know that you can't change anything about what it is that's happening. So you have to almost say, okay, I'm receiving the message, I've gotten it, and now you have to kind of almost disconnect a little bit, because as much as the positive intention that we can set can go out, you can't operate your day-to-day life with carrying the burden of
100%
that in your heart chakra.
So like you could say, what can I do as one person to effectively change what's happening around me? So, you know, if the Earth's strife right now with the fires and the tsunamis and the, you name it, it's going on.
Avalanche.
War, you name it. What can I do as one human being? So like, let's look at Mother Earth right now, because this is the year of love that we're coming into. How can you treat the earth better this year? So yeah, we all recycle because we're kind of forced to, but I don't know if any of you know this, but Sobeys is banning plastic bags.
Wow.
Yay, Sobeys.
Yes.
How awesome.
But along with that comes, you know, people digging in their heels because it's easier to just use what they know, right?
Yes.
We went from a generation where they used paper to go into plastic, and those people were upset about that because it was change.
Yeah.
And now we're going back to reusable or paper, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I think for me, I don't know about you, I have just a hard time remembering to bring my reusable bags in.
Me too. I have them in the car.
Yeah, they're there. They're there. And so now this will just force me to be able to, like, actually, if I do go grocery shopping, to bring those bags in with me.
100%. And like, you know, just and if you do forget them, take 2 minutes to go back to the car and just get them, or buy the new ones, which, you know, it is what it is. Another thing we could do is actually separate our garbage better. You know, like clean the plastic stuff and separate the paper from, like, really take ownership of that this year. Let's help the people that are trying to do a good job do a better job. Because
when the earth is well, then everything on it is well. So the humans and the plants and the animals and the water and the oxygen. So that's kind of a spiritual connection, right? So we talk about us needing the connection between body, mind, and soul. Well, we really need it to include earth, right? We really do.
100%.
So
get some plants in your house, whatever you can do, you know, contribute, feed some wild animals, whatever it takes, you know.
I just a very terrifying thought. Maybe I won't attract any wild animals, but
I currently have 3 possums and a raccoon coming to my back door.
Are you feeding them?
Yeah. I get those bag of peanuts, and I feed them peanuts and cat food.
Oh,
they come every day, and they're like waiting for their dinner. My husband calls them freeloaders.
Oh my gosh.
But they're adorable. You can get right up to the window, and like they look right at you in the window. It's great.
We have deer in our backyard.
Oh, you're
deer
so
and
lucky.
Bunny. Yeah.
Oh, love the bunnies. I have lots of bunnies too.
Drink from the pool.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get on to the next question. This one's coming from Crystal Grob. Hi, Liz. I felt my dad's energy strongly right after he passed, and for the first 6 months or so. I don't feel him as strongly anymore. Why do you think that is?
That's an actually great question. You know, honestly, I have thought about this myself, because there's 2 things that can be kind of at the forefront of my answer, and then you can answer after that. The first one is, have you ever had such a connection to something, or seen it or felt it or be in its presence so much that you actually forget that it's there? So like, as an example, if you're moving and you forget to take, you know, the fruit basket that's been hanging on the wall, or you forget to take, you know, your curtain rod, you've been looking at it for so long, and it's just been a part of the home that you forgot to take things. I know it's material things versus spiritual energy, but it's the concept. So when you're a loved one passes, it's new. So you can feel that energy and get those signs and symbols a lot more readily. However, as time passes, they become so connected to your energy, it almost meshes as though it's your own. So unless something drastic comes up, like a really big sign, symbol, dream, vision, you're having a hard time maybe connecting that you actually are receiving constant connection from your loved one.
It's absolutely perfect what you said. And I would add to that, we often stop looking for, we look so hard for signs that we don't see what's right in front of us. So our loved ones are literally like this far away in spirit. And energetically, as Amber was just explaining, you're going to feel, they're going to be there, you'll feel them. But if you are not paying attention to things like songs on the radio or little symbols, little things that you'll see throughout the day, voices in your head, these little symbols of like little things that are going to be coming at you all the time, just to let you know that they're with us. Because we're looking so hard, it's like right in front of us. So sort of just relax on this, and he's not stopped coming around. Like he's still there, and they do have things that they have to deal with too on the other side. They go through a download process, is how it's been explained to me. And I share your insight on this because I'd be interested to hear it. The download process, as explained to me, is that we have to go and sort of have a life review of our entire existence, the people that we touched positively and negatively, and it helps our soul to evolve beyond just simply the death, right? So it can take sometimes a day, and sometimes it can take a couple of years to 20 years, depending on whether that soul wants to go through the process or not. But on the majority, from what I've been told, is that it's a rather quick, like 2 to 3 to 6 months. So he could just be coming in and out of that process as well, which is another reason why you're maybe not feeling him if you're paying attention to signs.
Yes, I understood that as well. So during my connections with the spiritual guides that have given me help over the years, that has also come up, where they do have this somewhat called life review that you go through. There's been a couple times where I've connected to somebody's soul. Now, of course, anybody that's had a reading with me knows that I connect to the living energy as well as the departed. So sometimes that could include, I could be getting a message from Liz, while she's at home, and that doesn't mean anything.
All the time.
Yeah, that doesn't mean.
Never call me.
I do that. We do
right away.
So when we do get those connections, it doesn't automatically mean, and again, that's one of my biggest things is educating everyone about the fact that just because you're a medium, it doesn't mean you're just only connecting to people that have departed. Now, having said that, people that are in a coma state or, unconscious, their souls connect as well. And so the departed sometimes connects immediately following their passing, just to let their loved ones know that they passed peacefully or that they did all of the right choices and decisions. And of course, those aren't things that people always say. So not everybody's happy about the way things went, or, so that's just not a common thing. So depending on what the message is that will help the living really heal and have some validation is probably what they're going to come through for. How long they're able to stay around during that transition period will be dependent on how much healing the person that's living will need.
That's right.
And sometimes that living has to be ready for that too. But I don't doubt that your loved ones aren't around. We just have to watch for the symbols. And then, of course, try not to try.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's absolutely. We do have a few people viewing. Samantha, Walter, Ray, who we answered your first question, and Stephanie Little are joining us. And I'm just going to go to the next question. Tamara Burrell, I have 2 jobs and frustrated with both. I think I could do better on my own. What do you think? Well,
you know what I think.
You know exactly what I think, dude. Tamara, come on, honey. Here's the thing. If you're not feeling your job, it's likely the universe is pushing you to look elsewhere. When it gets real uncomfortable in your workplace, it's likely because it's not right for you. You can go through certain challenges to help yourself evolve. But when it gets real uncomfortable and yucky, like I've been in jobs where I was like nauseated walking through the door, and I stuck it out. So I would say it's time to ask yourself this number one question. And actually, because we're in 2020 now, a new year, new decade, every single one of you out there needs to be asking themselves today and get a real clear-cut answer on this. What makes you happy? What is it you want from life? It's a hard question to ask, and it's a even harder question to answer. So if you don't have a clue, how do you know if you're going in the right direction? Right? So let's start there and go from there. What would you say to Tamara?
Yeah, Tamara, you've got probably the next 3 to 4 months of going through this internal battle with yourself. After those 3 to 4 months, or I'd say between March and April, you're really going to have something in the universe that's really pushed you to, okay, enough is enough. So at any cost, you're only going to have one of those 2 jobs left at that point. And the strides towards doing something for yourself will be present. So watch for the signs and symbols of places like Jumpstart or, local colleges or employment programs posting about how do you start your small business? How do you get going? Those will be the signs and factors. So you just need your free will to kind of kick in and decide that, this is where you're going. But good luck, because it's very exciting and it's a lot of hard work to continue that. But when you're doing it for something that you feel good about and it feels right, that hard work is well worth it.
100%. And I'll just add to that, going into business for yourself is like eating an elephant. It is like, it is.
I wasn't expecting that.
Excuse me. How to elephant? It's so all-consuming. But if you eat it one piece at a time, just one piece at a time every day, before you know it, the elephant's gone. So you gotta eat. You gotta take bites every day. And putting it off because it's such a daunting task is just part of the problem. So don't delude yourself that way, right?
Yeah.
Elephant eater. Okay, I'm sorry. We have such a
for
laugh
the
here.
vegetarians out there.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, the apple tree.
The apple
Eat that whole
tree.
apple tree.
All right.
Okay, thank you for that. I'm gonna have everybody hating me now for that.
No,
Okay.
she's too sweet to hate.
Okay, the next one from Nancy McQuirkin. And I should know this because I have Scottish background. Nancy McQuilkin.
It's because it's got small writing.
It is.
It is very small.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for that save, my friend. Okay. Hello, soul sisters. My question is, what does it mean when everything is breaking? Example: car, TV, hairdryer, jewelry. Is it just old? Laugh out loud. Thank you, ladies. Yeah, kind of basically, it's kind of like your sign out with the old, in with the new.
Time to treat yourself to new things.
Yes, exactly. We both experienced a couple of pre-Christmas, right? Yeah, you had a worse time of it than me.
Oh my goodness, my washer, my dryer, my dishwasher, my fridge, my stove. What else?
Dishwasher.
Yeah. All of my appliances broke at the same time.
Furnace over here.
Yeah.
And my washer's been on the fritz too. So it's good times, right?
Yeah.
But when these things happen, you can be really upset about it and just be like, how is this always happening to me? This sucks, and just get really caught up in the moment of it. Or you can just do what you got to do and you figure it out and you make it happen the way it's going to happen. Like, however it's going to happen, you pay now or pay later, you got to pay. So when it comes to old stuff or stuff just breaking, take a look at, first of all, do we need a decluttering? Because that's probably, I don't know about you, since all my breaking stuff, I've been like chucking stuff out. So, not chucking it out, taking it to the places that be.
I do a good job from that no matter what, because there's too many people that live here. So I definitely have no room for stuff.
Yeah.
But it was a good reminder about making sure that you're paying attention to home life, because sometimes when we are busy with work or family or, you know, like lots of other things that life brings, when you're not paying attention to things that are happening in your home, it will remind you.
Yeah.
It will remind you. So yeah, so sometimes things do get old, it's wear and tear. Yeah. And sometimes if a lot of things happen at the same time, it is a reminder to purge, to cleanse, to get rid of. Maybe it's a whole different process you need altogether, such as maybe you don't need a washer and dryer anymore and you need to use a laundromat or whatever it is. It sometimes just looks at what you need to do in order to change the process.
That's a great, actually, you know, our dryer broke about 3 years ago. And I had to use those drying racks because I was trying to find the right dryer. And my husband was the one that convinced me not to go and get another dryer because the drying racks were working just fine. When I lived in the UK, we never had dryers over there. Mm-hmm. Everything was hung out.
Right.
And so for the last 3+ years, we've been using drying racks. Can you imagine?
And wow, you know, I wouldn't.
You think you wouldn't survive without it, but if you actually do.
Yeah.
Stuff dries overnight very quickly. Use it to keep up on the laundry.
And definitely good on the environment.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Saving resources.
Yes, exactly. That's what he keeps throwing at me every time I think I could use a dryer just for like quick.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we just don't. We don't do it. So there you go. Okay, so we got a couple of other questions. I'm leaning in here, guys. Sorry about my lean in here. Stephanie's saying, can you be connected to too many things sometimes? Connection overload is how it feels almost.
Yes. Yes. Connection overload for sure. I actually had that same thing. So because of, you know, school breaks and work breaks and things like that, there's been a lot of people around me, specifically the last couple weeks. And so, you know, with all of the, you know, responsibilities or work or things like that, I actually felt claustrophobic. So even when I was standing outside, I was like, whoa, my energy is way too connected to everybody and everything, and still trying to manage my day-to-day stuff. And so I actually had to do a really good attunement to my energy and really do a disconnection. And so I've been working on that. So in order, Stephanie, to help with that, do daily mindfulness and lifestyle changes. And so if you act just like when you wake up, you might brush your teeth, have a shower, brush your hair, get dressed. You might have to add to that daily routine, maybe a meditation or sitting in quiet for 10 minutes, going for a drive, listening to music. Add something else in there so that you can actually ground yourself, clear, and then block the energy, because it does, especially as you're opening up to being more sensitive to energy, it's like a magnet. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, this person doesn't know how to filter and block it. So let's just go inundate her. So definitely, yes, there is such a thing as overload.
Yeah, 100%. I felt it too.
Yeah.
Especially over this holiday. I don't know about you, but I've been sleeping a lot. Even during the day, like catching 20 minutes here and 3 hours there.
Yeah.
It's been brutal.
Yeah.
No, but I've just been so tired. So when that kind of time happens, like most of the time I'm like go. When that time happens, you go with it. You just accept, and connection overload is a big part of that, for sure.
And I'm not sure if this is specifically for you, Stephanie, but like as I'm answering your message, I'm getting a lot of pain in my lower back hip area. So this could be just ungroundedness. So just actually being mindful of the Kundalini, right? So you've got the energy coil around your spine. Sometimes when that's off or you're activating it, you don't know you're doing that, it could create spinal column issues. So specifically, yours is going up and down your spine, but yours right now is in the lower spine and hip area.
Yeah, definitely. I'm getting it on the right side too. So right from the femur to the hip. So, okay, cool. So you know what you got to do, Stephanie. Take care of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can we scroll? Looks like Amy Welsh. I know you said I should keep a journal of coincidences. Yes, I did, Amy. Is it normal to have gut feelings and also cerebral feelings? A little hard to explain. Absolutely. Yeah. By cerebral feelings, I'm assuming you're talking about mindful feelings.
Like a knowing of information?
Yeah, that's kind of, like if you could say yes or no, if that goes along with that. Excuse me. Your gut feelings and your knowing feelings. The reason I told you to sort of keep track of that is because I want you to prove to yourself just how in tune you are.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who's watching this, get yourself a journal if you're not already doing that. And this was actually what launched me into my psychic awareness, was keeping a journal. I was told by a psychic medium that was one of the ways for me to really get a handle on just how good I was. Because I think when you're having these moments sporadically throughout the day, you're not keeping check of it all. And when you see it written down on paper, before you know it, you've got pages of insight that you'd forgotten you'd had. And you can't deny that when it's actually happening. It gives you the confidence and trust that you need in yourself.
It's kind of like when they say if you use credit or debit versus cash. If you're using your credit and debit card, it's almost easier, tap, 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 or swipe or whatever. If you're using cash and you see how much you have and how much you're putting out and how much you have left, it almost makes you more mindful of what's happening,
Beautiful
right?
Analogy.
Yeah, so if you are keeping those journals and feelings and coincidences, like so that you know, I have a hard time saying coincidences because I actually, to me, I believe everything happens in the way it's supposed to.
Exactly. Yeah.
So yes, there are things that pop up, and so just like paying attention to them. She has something else down here. Oh hey, she says also hey.
Hey Amy. Okay. So apparently
sorry, we're both choking up all of a sudden.
Exactly. So Kevin, are you feeling okay?
Amy said yes, so I'm assuming she means the thoughtfulness,
yes,
the thoughts.
The cerebral. Okay, thanks Amy. Kevin, good afternoon ladies. Just wanted to say to Liz Throp, my energy vampire is stooping to new levels to get me to engage. Thank you again for the tools you gave me to maintain my peace. Thank you. Oh, you're very much welcome. And so, let's explain to everybody what that means. So an energy vampire, I'll explain how I see it, and then you explain how you see it. I see energy vampires as people who try to get your attention positively or negatively, repeatedly, relentlessly, without any care for you whatsoever. And it's not that they're mindfully not caring. In some cases it will feel like that, but they are going out of their way to just zap or pull your energy into them. How would you explain an energy vampire?
Yeah, an energy vampire is definitely what Liz just said. Somebody who consciously or unconsciously is taking your energy. So it could be something as simple as somebody who loves you, who wants to be in your physical presence just to be able to feel your energy. Maybe they're lower vibration that day and your energy's higher, so they use yours to kind of come up in the process, depleting your energy. It could be, the conscious level in which maybe it sounds like Kevin is experiencing, where someone is trying to engage and create a reaction, and once that reaction has invoked and the emotional charge has happened, that is releasing energy to that person. So very, 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 very important to be able to disengage, which would mean cutting or dissolving ties of energy cords to those people, places, or things. And then as well, really just giving yourself permission to be able to disconnect, put up your blocks or walls or obstacles so that it's not as easy. And you may just have to kind of become more, assertive in how you're sharing your energy moving forward.
I always say to people, when somebody's treating us disrespectfully or overwhelmingly, I always say, don't take it personally. It's really hard not to, especially when it's somebody who's close to us. Try not to take it personally. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with them and their issues. So I actually say thank you when somebody shows up in a disrespectful or overwhelming or energy vampire way, I actually mindfully say thank you to them, because it gives me permission to no longer be overwhelmed or emotionally engaged anymore. So it kind of gives me that break. I as empath, right? We're both empaths here, and most of you watching probably are. It is really hard to remove yourself from somebody because we feel like they need us and we need them for whatever reason. But just giving yourself permission to go, thank you for showing up that way. I believe you. I trust that this is the end of the line, and I'm good with that. I don't have to feel guilty or sad about it. I just have to accept it, that it is the end of the line here. And it may not be forever. It may be a temporary thing. But it's removing the emotional side of it just makes life so much easier.
And spiritually speaking, there's a couple different benefits to it for you. For the person who has to disengage from an energy vampire, it is actually express and exercise your throat chakra. So the communication factor.
We both cleared our throat.
We did both clear our throat. So being able to really set those boundaries and enforce them, and know that you don't need an explanation for what it is that you're doing. And so when you are coming up with clearing your throat chakra, I actually have a blog. One of these things is actually going to be pertaining to that. It'll be released later this week onto my website, and it's basically called Communication Constipation. And so,
love it.
And so just basically in order to activate and enforce your throat chakra, your communication.
Oh, I was so beyond that watching.
Yeah, and how we need to really just own and take responsibility for our own.
Yeah. Right? When are you releasing that?
Well, let's just say by the end of this week, because I'll just make sure it's done by this week.
Yeah.
It's ready to go. I just have to upload it.
So I'll be watching it from the sandy beach area in Antigua.
Yes.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
But yeah. So like you guys can all like feel sorry for me.
Oh yeah. Well, we're here in the snow.
Exactly. I'll be putting it out for you guys. While we're on, we got somewhere else here.
I have my eyes just on blurry.
Okay, so, it's Ray Hino, and I hope I'm saying your name right, Ray. Would you say it like that?
Well,
Ray.
I don't know how you pronounce that one, but I know who you are.
Oh, good.
Good. I know how you are.
Okay, so it says, thank you guys so much for taking the time to do this today. One of those days where everything seems blocked and I have much less hope, insight into my own life than normal. And little things like this live and other small occurrences have lifted me up. Happy New Year.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
So, take that Care Bear energy from us.
Yeah, we're sending it.
Absolutely.
Do you know, and this is why we want to do this. And, it's Sunday, and it's it depending on where you fall in your work week. It might be the beginning, end, or middle of your work week, but it is actually the day where you can kind of take pause even for 30 minutes during this live. Everybody is experiencing something the same, or it's different experiences to a little degree, but it's ultimately the same concept. And so when we can kind of talk about them and realize that these are things that humans experience, and there's always spiritual learning and growth that can occur from it. How our free will takes precedence into this, like how we can move a lot quicker if we didn't have our ego involved. And
such a big deal.
And just even allowing yourself to have free will, because you're really kind of sometimes stuck with, if I take this promotion, I'm going to upset my coworker. If I say I'm not happy about something, I'm going to hurt someone's feelings. So a lot of times, again, with that kind of communication blocks and obstacles, those are the things in which a lot of us are experiencing and struggling with. And so just to have a forum like this to be able to talk about it, give you some tools in order to kind of exercise those tools, and then really just kind of moving forward, and hopefully you're on to the next.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better. I would add, though, we were talking earlier about how, I was blocked by something myself leading up to the end of the year. And I was in such fear about the momentum, the amount of work that was about to be thrust upon me myself. I chose it. And I couldn't get my head around, you know, why are you doing this? But you want to do this, but do you really want to do this? And I was playing this dance, wasn't I? Like an incredibly silly.
We do it. You know, the spirit and the ego are having this duel, and you know your spirit is going to win. The soul will win when it's something that's for your life's purpose. It's just timing, right? Because your free 100%. Will dictate the timing in which this happens for you.
And here's the cool thing about it. It was somebody else's post, so like in tune with what we've just been shared there. It was somebody else's post on Facebook that reminded me that I needed to let go of the fear and just jump in and just get it done. You know, we have that that fear and the ego snapping into place, saying it's going to be too much, or it's going to be hard, or it's going to be whatever it's going to be.
I'm comfy over here in my little cave, and then I don't want to be putting myself out there or working harder. Or I already have too much stuff on the go. Am I going to be able to do this? So,
but that's so untrue.
All the normal things that you think.
But it's, you know, the reality is it's not true. And if you could just take a minute to just like get out of that belief system, whatever yours is today, you know, I don't have time for this, or this is going to be a difficult process, or having that conversation is going to be hard. Let it all go and just 100% you know, authentically jump in and just do it. That's my own motto.
At the end of the day, and this is the thing, right? Because at the end of the day, all that's going to happen is you're either going to come out better for it, or you're going to have freedom from the fact that you were able to do or say or act in the way that you wanted to do. You're going to be proud of yourself for doing it.
I am so proud of myself for doing it.
I'm so proud of myself. And there's so many crazy things that are coming up too. We're excited to share all of those things that, you know, Liz is doing, I'm doing independently. We're going to be doing collaborating. Lots of exciting things, mainly for the sole purpose of us being able to bring you guys this education and wisdom so that we can help you along on your spiritual journey, because we've already been there. We know what it's like. We know how hard it is to find those pieces of information, how it applies to you, to break it down so that you can understand in a much more
human way.
Yes, and absolutely. And so that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing all of these things coming up.
Do we have any other questions?
I don't know. Oh. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Wade and Tammy. Hi, Joanne.
Perfect. Hi.
Oh,
Hi, guys.
Sabrina said you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Sabrina.
Well, this has been amazing.
It has been.
So any last
The only thing that we didn't cover on the list was the 2020 energy, the fast-paced year. So we'll just kind of briefly go over what you can anticipate. I'm going to be coming back hopefully on a weekly basis. Now I will be away next week, so we're going to pre-record something.
We're going to pre-record
so that it won't be a Facebook Live, but you'll still get the gist of what we're hoping to bring to the table next week. And then I'll be back after the 16th, so we'll be able to do another live. And are we we're not really sure what day, if we're going to stick to Sundays. You guys be the judge of that. You tell us your fave day and time frame. Is somebody here with us? Okay. Is it a female? Like a young child is what I keep getting, like visions of a young girl.
Well, I have a young girl right there.
Okay.
There's a man standing behind me right here. He just walked in like a force.
Okay. Do you want to take a minute?
I almost got through the 30-minute thing without being interrupted.
No, the little girl's been standing next to you for the last 15 minutes. I've been picking up on her, and I kept looking just to kind of get little glimpses, but her, I want to put her around 7 to 10. Yeah. So does that kind of coincide with what you're getting?
That's what I was seeing. She always hangs around here. She always is in here. Actually, she usually stays up in the kids' room, so it's kind of a little bit of a thing.
She's enjoying.
Them.
I think the lights just flickered again. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for joining us, the loved ones in spirit as well. The gentleman, do you have anything that he needs to share?
I believe this is for you, so I'll leave it for later.
Okay, I know exactly who it is. Yeah. Okay, and 2020 energy, fast-paced year, folks. So buckle up this year. Beginning to see progress in all the things that we've worked on from 2018 to 2019. all that hard work is now going to pay off in 2020. It is a 4-year, I mentioned at the beginning, it is all about love this year, primarily loving self. If we can all just kind of get a handle on who we are and love ourselves, it makes it a lot easier to love everybody else around us.
It's actually the only way you can love everybody else around you. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you don't love everything about yourself, you will mirror those things in other people. So if you don't like that you're late, then everyone around you will be late or too early, and it's going to drive you nuts, or you know, so it will definitely
100%.
mirror.
100%. So just to finish up, we have a couple of exciting announcements. Amber's going to be showing up at and being a guest speaker at the Unleash Your Greatness event, and the early bird tickets are available now, and that is quite an awesome event if you're into spiritualism on any level. It's definitely one you want to attend. And do you know how much the tickets are? Or is that
I
something
don't want to quote them, but if you go to unleashyourgreatness.com or Lori Brandt's website, I'm gonna add this to our wall. I'll post it for you, and then you can find out exactly. It's 444 right now, so that is a good sign. That I just noticed that 444. So we just want to remind some of you that are watching that you are manifesting the things that you want. 444 to me means that the things that you're working on are definitely coming to fruition, and your angels and guides are helping you manifest those. So by the end of tonight, by midnight, make sure you've set some really clear goals for the week or for the month, and then today's a great time to get those going.
Yes.
But yes, Unleash Your Greatness will be there for May, and I'll be there along with some other amazing people.
Yeah, but you're amazing to watch. If you have never seen Amber live, trust me, that alone is going to be worth it for sure. But there's so many great guest speakers. There is.
It's going to be amazing.
And the location and everything's lovely. So and Lori Brandt is amazing. So okay, so that one, and then I'm going to leave you with a little teaser, because it's not getting launched yet, but it's going to be launched, I believe, on the 16th of January. Something very exciting that I had alluded to earlier in this conversation that I have been working on and will be launching. So definitely stay tuned, because it will be released on or around the 16th, and it's pretty big. It's pretty big. So I'm excited about that. And it's going to be fun for all of you.
Yeah.
You'll all enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Right?
It'll be great. They'll definitely enjoy it.
Okay. So on that note, we love you.
Yes. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you joining us. We're going to pre-record for next week's episode, and then we will see you again live in 2 weeks. So everybody have a great start of the year.
Yes. Namaste.